It is time. After a string of defeats, he races to lane, the turrets flashing like a defective light bright. He is giddy. No one ever plays Mordekaiser, and he was giddy to jam his opponent's horny head where light cannot escape. His Q is ready. The minions are calling his name. He steps up and promptly has a mace introduced to his face. No matter. Petty lane banter is not his job. Landing his Q on minions is. Mordekaiser will not leave him be. Like the ever-present fly on the posterior of a horse, he nips and bites and a Q is wasted in error. He takes a moment. Regroups. He will simply freeze the lane and force this Mordekaiser to stare impotently on as the stacks get higher. Mordekaiser then freezes the lane just outside of the tower in return. Nasus grits his teeth and starts chucking E's out to drive him off. Mordekaiser gives zero fucks and Nasus is forced to retreat for now. He sits in the base and gives himself a quick pep talk. "You are a good boy," he says quietly to himself. "You are the best boy." Appropriately psyched, he teleports back without regaining his full HP, for his is consumed by the Holy Spirit of Wu Pass. He runs Mordekaiser off and pings the jungler to come by, for he feels possessed by the very essence of Batman himself. The jungler, however, ignores him. In a fit of rage, Nasus rushes Mordekaiser like a toddler with a stick and severe mommy issues. He takes the paddle and signals frantically for the jungler to come. At last, he sees the ping announcing that help is on the way. He moves to engage and gets shut down harder than his mom at a singles mingle. Again he pings and the jungler responds. It's time. Revenge is at hand. The jungler pings MIA and heads off to whack off in a bush again. Still, Nasus is ready. He bought some magic resistant. He knows deep down that it's time to rumble. Mordekaiser is laughing at him now, and Nasus can feel his horrible insecurities bubbling to the surface. His nightmarishly low stacks, champion.gg and LOL counter did not warn him about this. Mordekaiser engages again and Nasus barely escapes. Nasus returns to the fountain and stares off into the sunset. Was he a good boy? Was he really? What did it mean to be a good boy? Did it mean that he needed to land his Qs? Did it mean that he should build into a puppanaut? Yes. That is what he must do. He heads back to lane as his tower falls. Mordekaiser has left, off to drop the proverbial turd on someone else's day. Nasus soaks it in, relishing the minions and creeping ever closer to the tower. The bottom lane takes Mordekaiser down and Nasus huffs that freedom like crack cocaine getting vacuumed up an addict's nose. Beautiful. He cut down minions like jumbo jet-sized buzz cutter through a rainforest. Nasus might as well have been stellar because he sure as hell got his groove back. Mordekaiser barely even hurt him anymore. He's Nasus and he's king and stacking and making his way towards late game. Paybacks are his mother and she's a big one. Nasus decides to bring his stacks mid. Judging from the mid-Janna's success, the Lux couldn't hit the broadside of Satan's ass. He soon confirms this is true. He is mauled by a bear and Lux hits him with everything she's got. But this is Nasus and you simply don't kill Nasus this late in the game. He is too good a boy. He heads down mid to help Janna out with Lux. The Lux runs Jen over like a chipmunk under the wheel of a semi. She splatters and Nasus steps forward. This is his time. He has waited 18 minutes for this moment. Then he sees a dragon. For a moment, Nasus's brain does not register that the dragon has left the confines of the little clitoris that marks its location on the map. Quickly, He realizes that Mordekaiser is directly behind it and quickly tries to get out. However, Mordekaiser is certainly not a member of the Bahamen and he most definitely did not get out. The enemy team slays Rift Herald and for a moment, Nasus chokes on the idea that Mordekaiser may be dragging the tormented soul of the Rift Herald around the map like a demonic purple space corgi. He heads mid. This is the end game. This is where Nasus shines. Janna and Rek'Sai head top to deal with Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser kills them both before heading into base to trash their house. Meanwhile, Nasus finds himself snared in his natural counter. A leash. He is quickly put down by the blue-haired helium huffer, Jinx. Mordekaiser, meanwhile, forces Janna to fight her ghost self in a move so masochistic that therapists worldwide pucker their collective assholes. Nasus rushes mid to stop the siege of the turret. The enemy team falters as he struts towards them. It feels good. For about 5 seconds. His team manages to fire with enough skills to make the enemy team scatter like cats from a hose. Nasus grabs a few stacks and joins up with his team. They are going to take at least one turret, damn it. Out of left field comes the rest of the enemy team, with Mordekaiser in the lead, rolling out like a trash can caught in hurricane force winds. They ignore him. Nasus turns to Karma. If they were going to die here, he would at least take one squishy down with him. However, yet again, he was hit with his nemesis, the leash. Mordekaiser crushed him like a gusher in the sticky grip of an obese baby. Meanwhile at base, Janna is weeping bitterly both at her inability to clear minion waves efficiently enough to salvage their base and also at her own decision to play Janna mid. He hears the cry of a dying dragon and knows that Mordekaiser has once again made the dragon his bitch and would be forcefully inserting it into their nexus shortly. Thankfully, the team collectively agreed to put aside all other endeavors and shanked Mordekaiser to death. He quickly rushed to get more stacks. The fate of the universe hinged on his ability to cue the other team to death. The enemy team wrecked Baron Nash's shit once again and Nasus went back. He quickly picked a fight with the bear and came out alive only to get shot to death by the glue huffer. At that moment, Nasus came to a life-changing conclusion. Fuck this. I'm playing Aram.